all the final checks and shit.
Yeah,
That's
well,
good.
I've got some news that's gonna make.
Okay, keep it under control, bro.
Yeah, I want to know what this news is, and I bet it has nothing to do with anything I care about. I'm just really curious now.
No, but it's something that he's been wanting to come out.
I'm telling you, unless it's a virtual on anime, I'm gonna be completely underwhelmed now.
Be quiet. I want to hear it now. Seriously, I'm curious.
Okay.
Oh wow.
You can't just like say something like that and
I did post it on Twitter, but yesterday. But I'll.
Oh shit! Well, I probably didn't see it then. I've been.
Regardless.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Everyone ready?
Yep.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Okay. In 3, 2. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
I'm K-Odds.
And I'm not the Baron von Feces, VC Mark II.
And we have a guest.
Yes.
Hi. I'm Karen Mead. I have a blog called The Otaku Sphere, which you may have heard of, probably not, but it's possible you have.
I've heard of that before.
Easy, sort of it.
Okay, good. Excellent.
It sounds very. So how's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I was going to. You want to plug your site? I don't like the URL.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, it's pretty easy. It's just www.otakusphere.com.
Oh,
and
simple enough.
yeah, I do other things on the internet, but you know what? That would be getting too complicated, and I don't want to try to sort out what's relevant or not. So you can find everything from my blog if you care. Everything's linked somewhere.
That's cool.
Yeah. Good. So what's everyone been watching? Same thing, because I've been watching the same stuff.
Okay, I'll go first since I usually don't.
Yeah.
All right. One, I've been playing through Dragon Quest. I've been just going back playing old NES games.
Mm.
And
that was like me a few weeks ago. Just up playing Sonic games and my favorites and other favorite Sega things.
And now I'm finding myself wanting to talk in Old English though.
Uh-oh.
Thou art, things like that.
Restrain the urge for the duration of the podcast if you can.
Please.
Which man, that news this week was painful about the San Francisco office closing of Sega.
Sega?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For those who aren't really paying attention to that, yeah.
It really is like what Anubis, was it you Anubis or K-God said, like it's kind of like seeing someone with Alzheimer's slip.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, it's Sega because it's like one of those things, like something that meant a lot in your childhood.
It's gonna be like when The Simpsons finally retires.
Seeing go, and it's that one thing that puts it in front of you that makes you realize that you're getting older.
You mean like the fact that Blockbuster Video went down recently in the last couple of years?
Yeah, kind of one of those things. Because Sega, at least in my view, was once this like powerhouse of awesome, and now they're like the guy in the retirement home that's just like drooling on himself.
Did you read the book about the history of Sega? What's it called? Console Wars?
No, but that does sound pretty good.
Yeah, I read it a month or two ago. Fascinating how Sega made this huge name for themselves and then basically self-destructed. It was pretty much entirely self-inflicted. So
I know a lot of it is, unfortunately, but I was such a ardent Sega supporter. I had both the Genesis and the Game Gear, and I was always like, not to knock Nintendo, but I was always a little bit more of a Sega fan, and it was even before like. I liked Sega even before Sonic the Hedgehog, like as far as like introducing. So I always had the affinity for Sega.
Okay. Let's kind of move it back to anime. We don't want to do this again.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So beyond playing the games, rewatch Sakura Trick just for fun.
There we go.
I don't know. I was kind of in one of my moods, and picked me up a little bit.
See, I actually liked that show a lot while I was watching it, but I can't see myself rewatching it because it'd just be like, okay, they're gonna kiss, they're kissing again. Now they're kissing.
I do plan on buying that when Sentai eventually releases that. So that's how I'll rewatch it. Which, by the way, finally, my mail finally came, which was both the Blu-ray of Yu Yu Shiki and A Channel.
Okay. So yeah, beyond that, let's see here. What else have I been up to? Bought my tickets to A-Kon.
Nice.
The badges, not the plane tickets. I already got those. Spending time with somebody special, of course. I've mentioned that before. Huh?
I won't use the drop-in.
Please do not. No, but Valentine's Day is coming up and all that jazz, So
we need to make the equivalent of Valentine's Day, but for people like us, for us wizard needs.
2D people.
Yeah, I mean, my birthday's gonna be next week, and my wizard powers are like at like maximum plus.
Technically,
magic missiles throwing fireballs.
Do you have mana restore points?
I don't know. I think at this point I'm pretty much like Sephiroth at the end of Final Fantasy VII.
Overrated?
No. You know when the transcendence and become like and you have your own theme song that go with fake Latin chanting.
It's not fake. It's just Latin chanting.
Okay, but and you have wings all over your body, and
you've grown
wings.
What
happens when you turn 30-something with no girlfriend? Because if that's what happens, I'm on board.
Well, yeah, but you two would use it very differently. See, I could see him using it to travel, whereas I see you storming bases and shit with it.
Yeah, taking over the world. Let's go.
Some kind of super villain shit.
I'm summoning comets that go right through Jupiter again and again. Somehow.
Come on. All right, I like Jupiter. Pick Saturn. No one likes
Saturn.
The obvious joke here, but it would drag us back into video games.
Yeah. Are you guys watching like Contact Collection and?
Catch up.
Go ahead.
I am.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, I'm up to date on it. I kind of sat out the last season of anime in the fall, just wasn't in the mood for most of it. So I'm compensating this season by watching a bunch of crap I wouldn't normally watch, including Kantai Collection, which really is, I don't think it's a bad show at all. I mean, it's very well made, and I think for the audience it's trying to appeal to, they're probably over the moon about it. But it's just, for someone who's not really enjoying the whole, oh, they're cute girls and they're ships aspect of it, it's just kind of boring. It's just, there's too many characters and you can't tell most of them apart.
It is. It does have a huge cast that's kind of overbearing at times where I've had, like, because we've all had the sort of reservations about Contact Collection because it was built up like this thing that kind of, it's kind of impenetrable if before this anime came, where you don't really know a lot because you can't play the game on,
Well, it kind of reminds me of the Toho fandom in a way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but I can play the Toho games.
I'm just saying the actual demographic of sorts reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, though.
But it has been fairly enjoyable. To Karen, there's actually two shows that I recommend from the previous season for you to see. One is Amagi Brilliant Park.
Yeah,
that several people have told me to watch, and I just haven't. Isn't that streaming anywhere legally?
Actually, no. That's the one of the, for some reason they weren't able to pick it up. So, but there's fan subs.
All right, I gotta see that because like 5 different people have been like, you gotta see Amagi Brilliant Park. It actually is brilliant. It's not a lie. So.
And the other show, now this was actually nobody was really into this, but it actually was next to Amagi Brilliant Park. It was actually one of my favorites, and that is Girlfriend Beta.
Yeah, see, there's so many shows with like these kind of generic titles like Love Lab and Love Live and Girlfriend this and Girlfriend that and Girlfriend X, and I can't keep track of which ones are the good ones because I know some of them are good.
Oh, Love Lab, both Love Lab and Love Live are fantastic. I'm a personal fan of Love Lab, and it pains me that didn't do that big in Japan as much as I wanted it to, such that we'll probably never ever see a second season of that. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it seems like either the anime have super duper generic titles with love or girlfriend or mystery, or it's the light novel title that's like 3 sentences long.
Yeah, the ones that Anubis hates.
The ones that are a paragraph long.
You know,
like, can't we have some kind of middle ground here?
My mental choice.
Old anime titles.
My mental choice powers are completely ruining my school romantic comedy.
Yeah, things like that. Where everybody just calls it by a nickname.
It's
because nobody wants to do that.
No matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular.
Yeah, exactly. You know, or like, I don't see it going away anytime soon, though.
But just to ask, what is it about what is it about Girlfriend Beta that makes it special? Just because I haven't heard anyone talking about that show.
Okay, I'm very much into I'm very much into these shows where it has like lots of cute girls, and it's not that I'm like anything with cute girls. No, but it was just a sweet, enjoyable show that had. Actually, okay. One of the reasons I liked it was kind of like, as I described it, the Moe Seiyu equivalent of like the Avengers type, where it just had all these well-known voice actresses for Moe characters. So yeah, like Rei Kagamiya, Aki Toyosaki, and kind of Asumi.
You see, I know those names, but like that's a world that's kind of foreign to me because I don't really follow Seiyu that much, which means I'm probably getting half the experience. But
no, but it was a sweet.
I'll try it at the very least. See if
Well, it's okay. I mean, none of us are actually following them around, buying hundreds of CDs and trying to like meet them and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's just whenever people actually know a lot about Seiyu, I always feel really inadequate as an anime fan. Like, oh, so and so's performance was so restrained in this show as compared to the previous seasons. I'm like, oh yeah, of course it was. I totally picked up on that. So.
Oh, I've been able to train myself.
I've just resigned myself to not caring about that. There's some things that I just won't step foot into. That's too real for me.
I've been able.
It's too real for Anubis. You heard it here.
Yeah, I've been able to sort of train my ear to like hear. I know. I'm able to like know Seiyu just by listening to some.
Well, most people know like Norio Wakamoto or something like that.
No, but
I can pick out some distinctive voices, but as far as like individual performances of a specific Seiyu, I would have trouble with that. Like,
put it this way, the one Naka from Kantai Collection, I was like, wait, that's the one that does Kokoa from Gochi Usa, and I had to look it up, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Kokoa from Gochi Usa, or I also what I like about Girlfriend Beta is there's a character. I'm really into these hyperactive foreign characters that are like really enthusiastic.
And can't speak Japanese properly?
Yeah.
Did you see a sketchbook full colors?
That one I actually have not seen, but I know of it, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the girl, wasn't her name Karen too?
I think it was Kate or something like that, but something similar. But that's the best fake Japanese. Anyway.
Yes. Sona desu. No, if you want the best fake Japanese, I think it would have to be the character's name was Karen too from Kiniro Mosaic.
Yeah, Kirino Mosaic is another one I've heard the name and I hear it's good. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, the character's half Japanese, half British, and she does the best some of the best most Moe-inducing English. It's like, oh my god.
Well, see, that's not really British so much as Valley Girl.
I know. It's like, did you know that although there was octopus inside takoyaki? And it's like, Japan is so cool.
Yeah. Well, that does seem to be kind of a thing that's recently been popping up, though.
Yeah, I'm also anyone watching? What are the other shows? Well, anyone picked up Idolmaster, Cinderella Girls besides me?
Not yet.
Okay, that show has been.
Some of my friends have, but
that show is fucking fantastic. I'm so.
I'm gonna have to investigate because I have not really been into the idol thing.
You know what? I understand, but like you could go even beyond and just enjoy it on. Same thing with Love Live. If you're kind of on the fence about the idol anime, I really say just watch Idolmaster and Love Live and see for yourself.
I'm not into idol anime either, and those are the two that I actually like.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. The last idol-related anime thing I think I saw was a rerun of Perfect Blue.
Oh, okay.
which, yeah.
It's not similar to either of those things at all.
No. That's what I think Wake Up Girls was probably going for.
Yeah, it was trying to do that, but it was also trying to do the. It was like so middling in between the whole. This is the dark underside of the idol industry. But look,
but we still want to sell you crap.
Kinda.
Yeah, I watched like the first, I don't know, maybe 3-4 episodes of Wake Up Girls, and after a while, it's just like this show isn't bad. It's just depressing. I don't want to see these girls abused anymore.
Yeah, thank you, Yamakan.
Yeah, don't watch any show that Yamakan is an original idea. Watch stuff that
adaptations.
Yes, he's great at adaptating stuff like Kanagi Crazy Shrine Maidens. There was one other show that I'm watching. Kofuka Graffiti.
Yeah, I'm watching that too.
Yeah, I love that. That show could be so lewd with the way they're eating. Like the one girl was eating a big old cream puff, and
I thought you were going to say banana.
And the way her lips were like on the cream puff, and
jeez,
and there was cream on her lips, and she was licking it away with her tongue.
Yeah,
and of course it's like that pale yellow.
Yeah, it's that. There's no subtext there or anything.
Yeah, it does have those suggestive parts, but I just kind of like food porn stuff in general, and Top Chef has been really boring for several seasons, so filling that niche for me.
Oh, I saw a terrible hentai this week from 1985.
Oh, no. 85, you say?
No, 1985. No subs, raw, but it's something I wanted to see.
Must have been a real old one.
Yeah, called, okay, get ready for the title, Punky Funky Baby.
What?
Wow, that does not sound like something I want to watch at all.
What?
It was basically, imagine a sort of slightly super deformed Kei and Yuri from Dirty Pair. With very unsexy sex scenes, or in this case, rape.
Sounds awful.
Oh yeah, no kidding. First off, for defaming the character designs of Kei and Yuri from Dirty Pair.
Yeah, and it was one of those like. The thing about a lot of these 80s hentai that were also sci-fi is they always tend to like crib from like Star Wars.
Yeah, I do know that, like Advancer Tina and things like that.
Yeah, well, especially the 80s ones. They were they really took a lot from like Star Wars. And unlike see Cream Lemon, like most of that stuff looks really good for that age.
Some of this does not.
No, this looks like crap.
Yeah. Does it look like Battle Can?
I think even worse than that.
Oh wow. Ouch.
This was like the one that was brought over here, which is actually part of the same. There was like a thing called the Little Mermaid series. Like that was it. That was like how there's Cream Lemon and the Lolita anime. There was also one called Little Mermaid. And that was one. But in the same series, there was one that actually got brought over here, and they gave it the name Gonad the Barbarian. But that wasn't its original name. That's just what they
Wow.
Of course it was not.
Of course, yeah, obviously.
And yeah, that was pretty. That was ass. Of course, it's funny to watch for a whole different reason because of the dubbing by porn actors.
Oh, ooh.
And this is pre like Yurusika Doji and like the when hentai was being brought over here. But it was
so everybody was going under a pseudonym like Helen Bed and things like that.
Probably.
Dick Long, and stuff like that. Just
from start to finish.
No,
Yeah.
but they gave those. I don't know, but they gave those types of names to the characters in said.
Oh, I think that's even worse.
Like Princess Laimi, I think was one of the characters.
Wow, very imaginative.
Yeah. And I think the organization was called ASS, the American Secret Service.
Wow, I never thought I would hear that as an acronym.
And when like the really you have someone whose voice is like way too mature sounding that doesn't match the sort of
Character.
cute young looking cat. Yeah, it was one of those.
Oh.
Okay. As far as stuff watching, yeah, I think are we all caught up?
I was going to ask you had some news you wanted to...
Yes, okay, because I wanted to tell you. Okay, big news that this is what Anubis has been waiting for.
It's not the virtual on anime. I already told
No, but it's... Yusurga no Sora got licensed.
Oh yeah, I got licensed. It's coming out here.
Yep. By
I'm
Media
on board.
Blasters.
I'll buy that twice. Yeah, by Media Blasters though, so we're gonna wait 5 years for it.
Well, apparently, I also saw a date for March for Ladies vs. Butler. We'll see if that actually.
It was coming out in March like 2 years ago. To be real.
I want to believe. Yeah.
The date's March 2012.
Well, I saw 2014
ouch.
I saw 2014 on the right stuff.
Well, it's 2015 now. Where is it?
I mean 20. Well, no, 20. I gotta check. I don't know, but
What I'm saying is it's Media Blasters, so we're gonna have to wait 2 years for it to come out.
I didn't know Media Blasters was still in business.
There you go.
everybody says that. Everybody says I didn't know Media Blasters was still out.
There's
a reason you didn't.
There's
know
a
they were
reason
still
for
in
that.
business.
Yeah.
So I remember in the
Licenses
90s.
and don't release them.
Yeah, because I remember in the 90s when they're putting out Kenshin and whatnot, they seemed to be a fairly, I don't know, stable company, and then they just kind of evaporated. I don't know where
that
went.
was because of the closure of the brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is, and they're calling it in solitude where we are least alone.
Yeah, that's the actual subtitle.
Yeah, Yusurga no Sora DVD complete collection, $17.99, and it says May 26, 2015.
I'm not gonna pre-order it because.
Yeah.
2 years later, when you forgot you'd done it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what's this at my door? Oh, I ordered this back
Holy
in
crap.
1919.
This thing came in a Jetsons tube.
Yeah.
Oh, here, Ladies vs. Butler. It says March 10, 2015.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll believe it when I see it.
So on
of
March
course, I
10th,
know.
it'll move up to May 13th, 2015.
Yeah.
And it'll keep moving until they actually release it, which is why I'm not pre-ordering it.
There you go.
Yeah, don't pre-order that type of stuff, but do keep an eye out when it eventually.
Of course.
If it does.
I've been complaining
As soon
about
as
it.
it releases, I'll be on it, but
Yeah.
I'm not pre-ordering it because I don't know when it's coming out. They say it's March 2015, but they said it was March 2013 as well.
Well, here's the other weird thing. Talking about Media Blasters. I mean, they used to be relatively stable because they put out things like Magic Knight Ray Earth and
Yeah. Well,
some of that stuff.
That's just the way the industry. It's not that the industry is doing any worse per se, but it's things go in flux. Some studios go down, but then others come out into prominence.
Yeah, markets change.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at a graph.
In fact, despite what some naysayers are saying, most of the top pre-orders I see selling has been the Aniplex stuff.
Much to the
Despite all the salt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was like the first thing somebody yelled when we went to the Aniplex panel. Why are your prices so high?
I'm not surprised.
Because
I'm surprised they didn't make them leave, or they didn't grab like the bouncer or something and escort them out.
Get out, you heckler.
I don't have an issue with Aniplex charging whatever they want for their products. I just plain can't afford it.
Well, yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Much, yeah.
Neither can I.
I did pre-order the Monica Rebellion Blu-ray. I was waiting for that, and it said, "Yep."
Did you get that money from the Tooth Fairy?
Well, it's the vanilla one, vanilla edition.
Not the ridiculous edition.
I don't need the CDs and all that music and the OSTs
and the implants and the no.
Unless there was like a I don't know, have your own 1/1 scale glasses Homer or something.
No, you know what they needed to market? Anubis is gonna hate me for this. Okay, spoiler alert too. You know what they need to market is a mommy head. It's like a piggy bank.
Oh God.
It just markets itself.
Why has it got to be my favorite character that gets killed?
Well, I don't know. You push on her nose and coins pop out of the mouth.
Everyone gets killed in. Nearly everyone gets killed in.
At least once, and sometimes many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I owned that series. I'm just not going to pay $1 billion, whatever Aniplex wants for it.
I'm not taking out a loan to buy anime.
Okay, here you go.
Not that you'd probably get one, but...
I can make a very persuasive case that just lending me money to buy Aniplex DVDs is... Okay, no, I really couldn't, but I think it would be fun to put together the proposal.
I will say that the Aniplex is actually better than like what Pony Canyon is doing for their releases.
I've heard a little bit about Pony Canyon and what they're doing. I haven't heard much.
Oh, it's basically they're doing a one volume at a time for both of their shows.
Oh.
I
was just saying, it's 1998 again?
Yeah, isn't that what made Bandai go away?
Go down?
Yeah, but the thing is, these are like Japanese style prices.
That isn't going to help.
Go away faster than Bandai. They're going to be here for 2 weeks, and then why isn't anyone buying this?
And it's not really stuff that's in high demand. Like,
wow, they're just
3.
Yeah, I mean, holy crap.
What? I'm trying to remember the shows. Oh yeah, Yuki Yuna and the Dengeki guy.
Yeah.
And not to disparage these shows or anything, but I don't see people paying Japanese prices for these shows.
Nah.
Yeah, I like Denki Guy, but I'm sure I'm not going to be able to pay what they want for it.
Yeah. I could look up how much they want if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
$100.
Let's have a laugh.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you need to sign over your contract for,
$1,000. You need to finance a Pony Canyon release.
Yeah, you need to get Wu-Tang Financial involved.
You got to put a down payment. You got to pay monthly. Interest.
You got to give like blood and sperm samples and.
Wait a minute. All right. Well, there's 2 variants. There's just on its own. Well, this one they're dubbing. Yuki Yuna that one's gonna be dubbed, but it's still only 4 episodes. Character Society 24 booklet. 71.
Yep.
For 4 episodes?
Yeah.
For 4 episodes?
Wow.
But this one,
you didn't pay that much for 5 back in like 2003.
This one is Yuki. Then they're doing a bundle with the first volume of Yuki Yuna and Denki Guy, for $143.
Marginally less.
My wallet is safely still in my pocket.
Yeah. It's not happening.
Anyway, let me see how much was Denki Guy on its own.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that I haven't paid ridiculous amounts of money for something before.
No.
I've paid ridiculous amounts of money for stuff that other people would not pay equally ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah,
for.
71 for 4 episodes, and that one's just English subtitles only.
Now, Denki Guy, I enjoyed that show, but that's the kind of show that if they put out a complete collection for like $29.99, then I would buy it. You know?
Exactly.
Look,
yeah, like that's why I like the Sentai for a lot of stuff where it's like you get the whole show on Blu-ray for $35 to $40, or even sometimes less. Like,
to be honest, my favorite one probably going right now is probably NIS.
Yeah, I like the NIS releases too for some of their.
Because it's a little pricey, but it's not like absurd.
No.
yeah, I got their Toradora release. I think I got the first Kimi ni Todoke, and I never got the second one. And now that I just realized that, I'm bothered by it. So I may need to rectify that. But now I probably can only get it if I buy it on eBay or something stupid.
What was the second show?
Kimi ni Todoke.
Oh, all right. No, I got like their Wagnaria.
I got their Denpa Ona release.
I have that, and both seasons of Yuri Yuri.
I forgot they did that. Holy crap!
Oh, same here.
Yeah. Because apparently VZ has shit taste. VZ likes.
Okay. Anyway, have you been watching anything, Anubis?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's quick and easy, isn't it?
Yep.
What have you just been cleaning the war room?
Actually, yeah, I did clean the war room. That's an endeavor. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of the beach balls and.
The break.
And Anubis needs his little like map thing with the little, and then the shuffle.
I still need to do
it with the army guys,
like pushing these little figures around with sticks.
With the craps table sticks and shit.
But the question you need to answer is what are you going to use to represent the Anti-Moe Brigade?
I don't know, because do their shows have figures?
JoJo's.
No. What you need to do.
That doesn't like represent.
No, you just need a screen cap of JP's hair.
I need a 3D model of JP's hair.
Or I don't know what of, or the characters of
You'll just call Enemy Territory Robo World.
Or Flowers of Evil. Make little.
They have figures for that?
No, but I'm saying make little printouts for those characters.
Flowers of Evil figures would be hilarious.
That wouldn't it?
Like, what features?
No, they don't. Well, past a certain point, they don't even have faces. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, well, is this even a character? Just like some candle wax mold that somebody didn't finish, you know?
And anyway. I actually like that show. I just think figures of it would be hilarious. With like the actual moles and pimples that no one wants in their 3D anime character figures.
Okay. We're coming up on the break.
We are up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio.
What happens during the break?
We usually just play music and
just play music quietly.
BS or use the restroom or whatever.
Okay, I'm sorry if I'm jumping in too much. I'm just trying not to be a boring guest.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Don't be sorry about that at all.
Yeah. I'm the one that should apologize because sometimes I get a little, like, I have to say my piece before.
But that's good on a podcast.
Sometimes it's bad because all of us do it at the same time.
Well, yeah. That can be bad.
Yeah.
I've just seen something I can't unsee, people.
Captain Planet porn?
Oh, no, and I have seen that. Ugh. No. Somebody put Ronald McDonald as a juggalo.
Ah!
A what? Not a gigolo? A juggalo?
A juggalo, as in like an ICP fan.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
In fact, they actually called them McNuggalos. Yeah.
I'll be back.
I'm gonna need bleach for my eyes.
Well, check my Twitter feed, see if anything interesting is going on. It'll probably be more figures that my husband's going to want to buy, and that's why we can't buy a house. No.
Well, we couldn't pay for that better foundation.
We need new siding.
But Max Factory still got me under a wheel here.
You know the store Ami Ami online?
Oh yeah.
They actually send my husband like personalized emails. Like, hello, Wilson. We know you like this series.
That's fantastic.
I can't really say anything because he got me a figure of Shizuo from Durarara, which is proudly displayed in our living room. So I'm just as bad, but.
I've always been tempted. I mean, obviously, this is not something you'd be able to buy here. You'd have to get it from overseas, and by the time you got it, it'd probably be damaged. But like one of those cardboard cutouts, you know how they have to promote like movies and series and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Captain Picard and things like that, or Darth Vader and such. You know, I can think of a lot of characters those would be fun to have.
Oh, standees.
Yes.
Right.
Then of course you could also get like ones that would just be uncomfortable, like having a Gendo standing there, just like I don't trust you in my room.
You'd probably constantly be looking over your shoulder if you had Gendo making his Gendo face.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd like constantly, be peeking over your shoulder, and he'd just be like staring at you. I don't. Why did I buy this thing? Then again, I would think that way if. I don't know. There's a lot of characters I think that would have that effect. Now that I think about it.
Well, you wouldn't want Rey, Sandy of Rey, standing there either. 'Cause she'd look at you with her sad, dead eyes and
just like staring at you.
Cold stare.
Even Shinji standing there, you'd be like, what?
You'd be like, go the fuck away. No one likes you.
Seriously, dude. You cannot be in the same room with me when I'm sleeping. I'm serious. It's not funny, man.
Well, we saw what happens when he was in the same room with Asuka when she was sleeping.
Hey, she was comatose. She wasn't sleeping.
Now I'm thinking of End of Evangelion. That was not on my list of things to do tonight.
It just keeps tumbling down.
Yeah, exactly.
I could watch the hilarious manga entertainment dub of that again, I suppose.
Oh, wow.
I can't handle the real movie.
Commentary on the manga entertainment dub.
What?
The hilarious commentary on the manga entertainment dub, too.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually have not seen that. I mean the commentary.
I think people maybe got a little bit too gung-ho demonizing her, but she did say some things that made it seem like she doesn't actually know very much about the show that she helped dub. So.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Like, there's that, you know the part of the, well, you've seen Evangelion, that's a stupid question.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay. You know the part where Kaji gets shot?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Death and Rebirth, there's instead of hearing the gunshot, there's a slap, and then I think it's Asuka slapping Shinji when he tells her that Kaji isn't coming back. And in the commentary, Amanda Winley or whatever her name is, she was just like, oh well, it was a very unsatisfying sound. It sounded like someone got slapped instead of a gunshot, and people were like, no, that was a conscious artistic decision. Why did you think that was a mistake? So. Okay, I didn't just explain that very well, but basically they mistook deliberate artistic choices for things that I don't know.
Like somebody biffed something or whatever.
Yeah, they're like, that sound effect just wasn't meaty enough. We need to build it up, or stuff like that.
Okay, well I had some Hanna-Barbera zoinks in there.
Yeah.
I still think the best manga dub is Angel Cop.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
I think Anubis soundbite.
We're not recording.
Well, you get to do.
Yeah, there's no point.
Okay, ready on the second segment.
Yeah.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio.
Okay, this topic we're going to talk about censorship and editing in all of its glorious capacities.
Can I start?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Because I actually don't have a whole lot to say on this topic, but what immediately came to mind when I found out you were discussing this is that that thing they only do now with modern shows where they put giant beams of light across the screen to block the nudity, and then on the Blu-ray or whatever, it's all going to be hanging out there, but for the TV version, they just cover the entire screen with white. I hate that. I hate that so much. It hurts my eyes. There's got to be...
I've seen worse. I've seen where they put something that's obviously like a digital cover of something on top.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is done as a marketing decision.
Yeah, this is purely marketing.
Oh, I've seen.
This isn't even done because we don't want to show it to you. It's bad. It's because hey, if you want to see the whole thing without this problem or without this situation, you have to pay more money and actually go buy it.
Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot of stuff I don't really watch hentai or whatever, so I haven't seen a whole lot of the way they used to censor things back in the day, but I'm pretty sure it used to be better in that they would just, maybe pixelate stuff or something like that. But I really hate this, giant beams of light obscuring the entire screen thing, just because it actually gives me a headache.
Well, in 80s hentai, it would be the glowing rod.
or the mosaics. Which is to cover, the frontal nudity.
Or I'm gonna have to be blunt. Yeah, the vaginal area not having any pubes because of the anti-pube thing that's vague in Japan.
Oh yeah, that actually has nothing to do with anime though. That actually has to do more with laws that were on the books before that.
Yeah.
But no, I totally understand what you mean. Even something like Strike, which has had those.
Oh yeah.
Which, in the case of a show like that, you really don't want those.
Did Vivid Red have that? Because I only saw it, and I saw that on DVD because I reviewed it for something, but I don't know if it.
The Blu-ray DVD version had nipples added. I haven't actually watched it, but I've seen the screen. I rewatched it. I haven't rewatched it. I only saw the TV broadcast, but I've seen the screen caps, and they've had.
Were they added, like you said? Were they actually added, or were they just obscured to begin with? And it was
obscured.
It was lifted off.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Well, other kinds of interesting edits. Yeah. When anime has been on TV, obviously you see a lot of interesting choices here.
My favorite still, as far as best worst, is what they did with One Piece. And I'm not a fan of One Piece at all, but just like what they did with what 4Kids turned it into, made it so bad it was actually hilarious to watch, more so because of the the whole turning the cigarette into a lollipop.
Honestly, that's the only thing I know about that show.
Guns, actual guns into water guns.
Yeah, that was something when they actually showed Gundam Seed when they were broadcasting that for.
Oh yeah.
They turned the guns into having these disco laser things on them. It looked so stupid.
Have any of you guys watched iShield 21?
I know of it, but no, I haven't seen it. But I know that they censored the manga here.
Oh, well, I only read a little bit of the manga, but the anime, they made a dub pilot for it. I don't think they ever made a full dub of it, but there's a scene in the pilot where this bully goes after the main character with a baseball bat, and in the dub, they digitally took out the baseball bat but didn't replace it with anything. So he's just waving his arms around randomly.
Oh, so it's like this.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I was actually kind of disappointed with that because, iShield 21 is a show about American football, but I thought it was one of those few shows that might actually be well suited to a dub, and then they come out with that. Just happy they didn't finish dubbing this one. So.
I actually got a point of censor that was a Sentai release, and I was the only one that caught this, and I was the only one that said something.
I know what you're talking about.
The Hatsukoi Limited, where the character is 14. And it's obvious because it's junior high school. but they said no, 16. Even though the rest of the show references that she's in junior high school.
It makes you wonder why they bothered.
Yeah, it's like, why? What's the reason for doing that? What's the rationale? It's like,
and she was calling the other character a pedophile anyway, a lolicon. So why does it matter that the name was,
the age? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, okay. A lot of people from the Toonami generation will remember a lot of this stuff. Like, I mean, obviously DBZ was long before that had all kinds of funny, interesting ways of censoring things. Mostly death.
Well, but there was also in the new dimension.
Another dimension.
Yeah.
That was the euphemism.
But they did the same thing in Sailor Moon. She's been taken by the Negaverse. So
yeah. Which the Negaverse, really? You couldn't have come up with something better than that.
But there was the what is it? But then there was, of course, the what is it? It was the like not on Toonami, but like the regular TV that they did of DBZ Kai for a short time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, so I don't know anything about it.
Well, I know. Blue Popo. Yeah.
So like we're gonna make him blue.
And the halos were made into round balls because can't have any halos because that's religious.
Yeah, and people in this show can fly. I mean, come on now. But yeah, references to death was just like a real sticking point for some people, because not only did they say euphemisms like another dimension and stuff like that, but they'd show things off screen, and in some cases they wouldn't even hint that the person was dead. Like you could still hear them breathing on the ground, even though they were so dead.
I remember this. It lasted for a very short time. They probably only did a couple of episodes before it got pulled. But I remember, I don't even think it was Toonami. I think it was Adult Swim. They aired, and they called it Dragon. And this was before Kai. This was just regular Dragon Ball Z, uncut, on TV.
Oh yeah, I think I remember something like that.
And then it got pulled.
What was it really like with the original score and everything?
Well, when I mean cut, uncut, like
like they didn't blur out, they didn't clean up blood or anything like that.
Yeah, that, and I think you saw Gohan's
ass.
No, his dick.
His more frontal-oriented parts.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, come on, Gohan has a tail.
Yeah, but remember how they digitally put a tree?
Yes, just like...
And it was always artificially...
I got to tell you a story, and this is a real story. When I was in junior high, all right, I was borrowing one of my cousin's T-shirts. It was, I don't know if you know what this looks like, but it was basically the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind.
Oh, is that the one with the baby and the...
Swimming after the dollar?
Yeah.
Yes. They actually made me take it off.
Oh, in school.
Yeah, and the guy was looking at me like I was a criminal. like whoa. I mean, seriously, this guy was giving me the ice daggers in his eyes, just like...
I got a better one for you. I remember someone in elementary school wearing the Janet Jackson.
Oh, God.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, censorship. We're not going to talk about card captors. Just no.
Why did you remind me that happened?
A mystic adventure.
Don't encourage them.
No, that was just that had to be the most egregious example of censoring and changing something for the American market, just because they couldn't even deal with the fact that they were like, we're not just going to sanitize the show. We're going to try to pretend it's for a completely different demographic than it was ever intended for. Just
yeah.
Okay. I know you don't want to talk about it, but
I think they're also trying to make it into a Pokemon thing because of the cards.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever.
Oh man, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Idol Master, gotta collect all the idols.
But yeah, censorship. It was one of those things where when it was on regular TV, like Tenchi Muyo, when they drew like little really bad digital like covers on them, like when they were in saunas or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, they did that for. I remember they had Robot Week.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's actually the first time I ever saw I finally saw Evangelion, and even then I knew that they was digitally when when you see
Misato taking a shower.
Yeah, Misato in the bath. And,
because you get the top-down shot.
Yeah, and they put it digital bikini.
See, here's what they did when they had a shot like that in Sailor Moon when Usagi's sitting there in the tub. It actually, they didn't put a top on her or anything. They just like made. I'm trying to think of what they did. Like,
they took away the cleavage line.
Well, not only that, but they changed the color of the water too, didn't they? Like to where it was obscuring it better or something.
Probably. Of course, I thought it was a great thing at the young age. Seeing that third episode, which actually wasn't the third episode, it was a little bit later. The one when the girl was all tied up by the
Yeah, the monster had like that ice like thing going on.
No, she was all like tied up, and you saw like her cleavage, and I was like,
Yeah, well, if you can't get a hold of a Victoria's Secret catalog, you got to make do. But I mean, a lot of that went away when
Sailor says. Sailor says
that wasn't censorship. That was just
that was just dumb.
That was a holdover from the whole
Reagan era.
The artificially adding educational content.
Like the G.I. Joe thing at the end, like and winning is half the battle.
Yeah. The most hilarious thing was Transformers actually had that. They just never aired them.
Huh.
But you can watch them as like extras on the DVD.
That's entertaining.
And they even said the same thing. And knowing is half the battle. Because G.I. Joe and Transformers.
Wow, the person who wrote that must have been the same guy or the same person on the.
Well, it was. It's. Some...
Yeah, no, I mean the person who wrote the PSAs.
You would just tell they're just doing it as an obligation.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, I think when not Funimation, Filmation, when they did He-Man and She-Ra, I think they were actually sincere. I think they wanted to do those like little educational spots. Maybe they were the only ones in the entire industry who did.
The only ones in the entire universe who ever wanted to do that.
Right, because
you ever see the best worst ones are the the worst ones are the Captain Planet ones. Obviously.
Yeah, but I think those were deliberate though. I think that's another one where they were done in tandem with the idea of the show.
Although, okay, the best worst ones are the Sonic Says ones.
Yeah, those are pretty bad.
Yeah.
But again, those aren't really censorship so much as they're bad public service announcements.
Yeah. All right, censorship.
Like don't run with scissors, kind of stuff. Like it's funny.
Don't read porn on a subway train.
That's a problem in your area?
No, but that would be funny if they said that. Don't.
But yeah, because
if you see a pretty lady on a train, please don't grope her, because she has feelings too.
So that's a kind of useful public service announcement that we don't get.
That would actually, yeah. If we're gonna do public, do stuff, yeah.
Like don't pee on an electric fence.
Don't be a douchebag on Twitter, because nobody likes a social justice warrior douchebag, because nobody wants to hear what you say about.
Yeah. Right, but yeah, exactly. Well, those aren't really the same thing as censorship so much as just kind of like moralizing.
Yeah, true, but it is part of the whole, like as you said, moralizing, trying to.
Right. Well, I mean, I used to watch Tom and Jerry, and they didn't have those. In fact, those were actually interesting in the fact that they had real sound effects. Like when someone got hit with an iron, it sounded like somebody got hit with an iron.
Yeah. Oh, I got a good censorship thing. Like watching Voltron and Golion at the same time, and a character that died. What was it? There was like I forgot what the monsters are called in Golion, but one of the rose beasts.
The Robies
was like good, but in the original one he died, but in the American one, but in Voltron there's like, oh, and he got better, and he recovered.
Didn't in the Voltron thing, like, one of their teammates who actually who died, but they actually said he like went on vacation or some shit.
Well, no, he got hurt, but then he came back. But in the Japanese, it was his twin, his brother,
or something ridiculous like that. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've watched the Voltron version of it.
It's just funny, any sort of these things that don't look like robots, but we're just gonna call them robots anyway.
Yeah, and again, Dragon Ball Z did things like that too. I mean, it was perfectly okay to like nuke anything that looked like a bug or something like that.
Which I guess that's probably why killing Optimus Prime in the original Transformers movie was so shocking at the time, because it was so, like, even though it was a robot, it was done in a way that was so blatant about it, and
like a good example, since again DBZ isn't one of my favorite ones to pick on because they did this so much. just again, ways around death, like, oh, they blew up the cargo robot. Or like, it's like, no, I can see their parachutes, they're okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's no indication that there was anybody with parachutes.
Well, Super Sentai and Power Rangers is just like that, where everybody was okay. Everybody got out of the building.
They talk about targeting empty buildings. Like, when is a building ever empty? I mean, completely.
Yeah,
especially on a work day.
On a work day in a populated area.
Yeah, in Tokyo? Are you kidding me? Target practice on some empty buildings. I remember laughing at that. Or the fact that he blasts the area they're standing at as people are gawking at him. And then, it's like, it's a good thing this place was evacuated, It's like, really? You're just like...
fast evacuation.
Yeah. They could have used you in Katrina. Like, big time. But yeah, when they actually, I'd say once the Pokemon bubble hit and the ADV and all your big names and stuff started putting stuff out like real with regularity, this kind of wasn't so much of a problem.
No,
not so much. But I mean, there were a couple Pokemon episodes that were pulled. Right,
but I mean, just as a general, I mean, obviously some of the hentai and stuff still, that still managed
19, but aren't those characters 19 and attending vocational 2-year college?
2-year college, yeah. Sure they were.
Even though they still wear uniforms and clearly look like high schoolers.
Actually, I remember when they originally brought over, they made a big deal out of this, when they originally brought over a title called Night Shift Nurses.
Oh. I know that title very well.
Yeah, I bet you do. Well, one of the great things about that is they edited the scat out of it.
Really?
In the first one.
When they brought it over the first time, yeah.
Yeah, Justin Savakis was talking about that.
Yeah, and they even said that it really killed us to have to cut it. But it was like in 3 states it was illegal or something like that.
What do they have left?
But then they said that the demand was so much that they left it in the next installments. It's like, poop paid for my... And I was like, poop paid for my whatever.
Listen, I paid for this doo-doo, alright? I'd like the product I paid for.
Sorry, man. I mean, I want it all, even with the corn in it. That's disgusting.
License Euphoria. There you go. You want to bring over Euphoria?
I'm still flabbergasted by some of the things that we actually did get. Like
Bondage Game.
Or
Bondage Game.
Pigeon Blood.
That was released.
Did we get Pigeon Blood? I don't think we got Pigeon.
I thought we did.
I don't think so. No.
There was one of them we did like that. I'm trying to. I mean, the story of Little Monica.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, like you know, it's like, well, it's the name of the streets. Like, really,
well,
guy?
I've asked. When Media Blasters was a little bit more prominent, I asked him about Cream Lemon, and they said no, because some of the ages of the, that might be a problem. Which it's like,
told you that would be an issue.
I know,
but we got one. And again, some of the titles of these.
Okay,
are hard
that would be a great. You want to make a good Kickstarter? All right, U.S. release of Cream Lemon.
That would probably be a hard sell.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Some people would go for it just because it's a.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Some people. How many of some people?
How much? How many? Yeah. Go ahead.
I've stopped trying to predict what's going to be successful on Kickstarter because it makes no sense to me. So.
Yeah. Oh, there was the thing that thankfully didn't get nobody, very few people actually even gave money, but the person that wanted to buy that gray PS4 just to destroy it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Don't give.
Yeah, because we're using these things to be useful. I mean, come on. But no, you're right. There were numerous titles when they first showed up. Some stuff like that happened. I remember in the newer releases of La Blue Girl, they edited out some stuff because of Nin Nin.
Yeah.
Which I never get tired of laughing that he looks like Black Mage from the original Final Fantasy. He's like sneaking around, like just yeah.
The
exactly.
UK releases of this stuff was actually always more censored than.
That's actually banned there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the first La Blue Girl, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
If I wanted to watch La Blue Girl, would it be worth watching in a ha ha ha, this is so funny way? Do you think it would just be like,
yes,
I'm not getting anything out of this?
But if you do watch it in a ha ha way, watch the dub.
Okay.
it makes it all the more. Okay, somebody straight up seriously says, "How do you like my air dildo?"
My what?
Air dildo.
Oh.
And he says it completely with like this Saturday morning cartoon villain kind of voice.
Okay, because like I said, I don't really watch hentai, but I feel like I should see at least one or two of the famous ones, and La Blue Girl definitely seems to be
there's a bunch
the
of
one
just
to see.
bunch of just like as far as the famous ones. The original Yurusuka Doji.
Yeah, that one's more of a horror movie.
Yeah, that's I just call it like a ero horror.
It really is because it just features some really grotesque stuff in it and
heads cut off and stuffed into fridges.
Somebody removes their own genitalia with a cleaver.
Yeah, I think that's a little too hardcore for me. I think I'll stick to La Blue Girl and silly tentacles. Yeah, not that La Blue Girl isn't gross in its own way, I'm sure. But
yeah, I would actually recommend a lot of the Cream Lemon stuff too, just because a lot of them are really good.
Again, and they also have a lot of historical.
Yeah.
Kind of worth because they were one of the first ones to actually ever come out.
Right.
Yeah.
When's Cream Lemon from? I've heard the name, but I don't really know much about it.
1984.
That's when it started. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually it's an anthology.
Right. That means they got all these different like artists and
Yeah, it's I mean there's some like recurring episodes and characters, but most of them are like their own standalone. The styles.
It's like the Brothers Grimm fairy tales except for porn.
That's a good way to describe it.
Oh, was it? I actually saw a release for a U.S. Cream Lemon, like. Probably not legally, but it was like under the Brothers Grime. So it's funny that you brought up the Brothers.
I did not know that. That was purely coincidental.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like at the end of the movie where they say no relation to anything living or dead.
But
I dragged us off topic with my ignorance of hentai, but I apologize. Continue as you were.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, recently I was surprised they put Kill la Kill on the air, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, are they censoring that?
Didn't look like it so far.
Yeah, I honestly would not have expected that, to be completely honest.
Really, I'm not surprised they put Kill la Kill on the air.
I'm not. It's not the nudity so much that concerns me because what? It's probably on really late, right? Like 11 or midnight.
12:30.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, okay. But what about the later scenes where Satsuki basically gets like molested by her mother, like that? I wonder if they're going to show that. I just.
They showed Sword Art Online, didn't they?
Yeah, but see, that was molesting the audience.
A clear distinction must be made. Yeah.
I'm surprised they still haven't put. Well, actually, I am not surprised, but I'm surprised because it has a dub that they haven't put Madoka on there.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to make of that one way or the other. I don't really. Well, I don't have TV anymore. I just have internet, so
Is it
I don't.
Cute looking, even though it's.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Now we'll just play Cowboy Bebop the 500th time.
I'm pretty sure they took that off the block. Finally.
Yeah, I didn't see it on the blog.
I like Cowboy Bebop, but
Inuyasha's still there for some reason.
Speaking of Cowboy Bebop and censorship, didn't they choose not to air that episode of Cowboy Bebop where the Andy, the cowboy episode, where they blow up buildings that look like the Twin Towers?
Yeah, they actually stopped. They actually skipped some episodes of some things after that happened. Didn't they cancel Gundam, or the original Gundam at that point?
Yeah, that was their excuse. That was the excuse they gave. It was really because
it wasn't doing as well.
That, and they didn't want to air the original Gundam. They wanted something that looked like Gundam Wing, but they was kind of forced upon them to put. I mean, to be fair, it was great seeing like the OVA stuff because that got me like interested in Gundam and anime proper because I was not digging Wing. I was so bored by Wing.
All you gotta love about Wing is again that opening where Zex takes
down the most technologically advanced weapon known to man in a welfare Zaku.
Yeah, basically, and with one shot.
But
and then just jumps out.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He doesn't jump out. He charges it first, and then he
charges it, and then jumps out.
But I do like the design work, and I love the design work for Endless Waltz. So
it's also got a pretty good soundtrack too.
No, I like the opening.
Well, not just that, but it's got a lot of good martial kind of sounding stuff.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, though, there was a bunch of stuff that was kind of censored in that same way after 9/11 because of the imagery.
Yeah, not even just anime.
They never showed that one episode of Pokemon where Tentacruel knocked down the building.
Yeah, I got an example.
That one again after that happened.
I got an example. When at that time they were airing it was a port over from a Japanese series of Transformers called Transformers. In Japan it was called Car Robots, but here it was Robots in the Skies. And they took off an episode that involved like a building like coming down or being like attacked.
Right. Well, here's the other thing. When they showed some old movies, sometimes they took scenes out of it too that showed them.
See, now I get really bothered, maybe because I'm actually from New York, but I get really bothered at seeing what I call 9/11 imagery and like stuff like Man of Steel and.
Actually, the most pernicious usage of it was in the Omen remake.
Oh yeah, where you said it.
Where they added that as part of like the end times.
Yeah.
Like okay, I mean it does suck. A bunch of people died and it was all this stuff, but really.
I know.
I mean, there was probably more people that died from like malaria, in the last week.
No, but I'm it's weird that I get sensitive over seeing what I call like very realistic collateral damage that's very invoking of that. Yeah, especially in Man of Steel where it had like firemen covered in dust and all that. It's like, oh, I don't want to see this. And
then they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with that.
Well, Anubis, you were the one who were talking about the horrible things you saw in like after that, where people were like playing Jenga.
Was I the one talking about that? I don't know.
I believe so, because I don't know where else I would have heard it.
I haven't played Jenga in years.
No. You said you saw other people playing Jenga, and we're throwing like paper airplanes at it.
Play Jenga. I haven't seen anyone play Jenga in it.
That just sounds hilarious, actually.
Yeah, bit. It's messed up big time, but.
Wait, what is so heinous about people playing Jenga? Did I miss something?
Well, no, they were throwing paper airplanes at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had them built up and were throwing paper airplanes at them. Yeah, very, very tasteless. I don't think we're seeing a lot of it so much anymore. I mean, like, not nearly as much. I mean,
well, that's because what anime is? There's no more like anime on. There's no more cartoons on regular TV. By the way.
So anybody that's buying this is buying it because they're they're straight from its source usually.
Yeah, because they know what they're getting into.
There's Toonami, and that's pretty much it for anime.
You know what's interesting though? We don't have overt censorship nowadays. We have fans trying to censor each other, like the whole "you're a horrible person for liking this" phenomenon. So maybe
pretty
that's
much
tangential, but
even though they don't see it as censorship, but yeah, that's pretty much that.
Well, we've gone so long without actual censorship. We need to.
You like lolies?
Now.
You like lolies?
Here's the thing that cracks me up, and maybe this is just me, and again, it has nothing really to do with well, I guess it does tie in, but like recently they've had that BBC article that was floating around, where it had the
Saren Kagura one.
Oh no. Not even that. No.
Oh no! I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
No. The thing about Lolicon comics and stuff.
Yeah. Why is this not?
Why is this still legal? Basically. And
yes.
The funny thing was them showing pictures of these well-endowed girls.
Yeah.
like you're not seeing the disconnect here.
If they're well endowed,
they're not lowlies. I'm telling you. That's not how that usually works with people.
No. The CNN article where they picked up a manga. Look at this, Phil, and it was a manga that was not pornographic at all.
Not only that, but they weren't even in a stop shop. They were in Melon books.
But
they made it sound like they walked into a 7-Eleven and hey dude,
No, but the other thing I was talking about that one that UK gaming thing. Oh no, it was Nintendo of UK.
Of the UK, yeah.
It's talking about don't look at it, don't consume it, don't talk about it, or for Saren Kagura's.
Yeah, it's Fight Club. First rule about Senran Kagura is you don't talk about Senran Kagura. And then immediately someone in the comments section just demolished the person. I don't know if you saw that, but.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It was very vindicating.
It's fans and the media that doesn't know better, or should know better, but just doesn't because why not?
Well, here's another thing. I don't really know what termed umbrella to put this under, but I don't want to say the content leaders. I don't think that's quite right, but the perceived content leaders. Or people who are kind of handling the PR for all this stuff,
right?
Are people that are actually actively trying to get stuff taken away or removed. Like for instance, okay, everyone's favorite example is when Kodama no G-Con, when 7 Seas is going to put that out here.
Oh yeah.
It actually had people that work in the industry trying to stop it. Yep. And under kind of twofold. One, because they wanted to protect the image of anime fans or some bullshit.
Oh, that ship has sailed.
Oh yeah, we were screwed as soon
as soon as Uruchika Doji was released.
Here, we were screwed. That game was already over. Exactly. And I think, and quite frankly, I think that was just an excuse. I think it was just something we personally didn't like, and they used that as the pretext to run that campaign to try to get it taken down.
To make it sound noble.
Yeah, exactly. It was really probably just a pet peeve.
Yeah, we're looking out for the anime fandom, but
no, you're not.
We just don't like this stuff and would rather it not exist rather than us just take the effort to not watch it.
Yeah, I've
speaking of which, I'm glad that you commented on that answer man Anubis.
Yeah, no, I couldn't keep my mouth shut on that.
What was it about again? That I sent you?
It's about like the whole how people kind of backlash against people whose criticisms of a work are this work is sexist or this work is
yes, that's it.
Has like stereotypical representations of LGBT characters and whatnot, which is cool in the gang, but how are we going to consider that a criticism is my question.
I must have missed something. When did this happen?
The Answer Man.
2 days ago, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was about what was the
Well, here's the other weird thing. I mean, the gaming world, not to tangent off into this too much, is experiencing a lot of this right now.
Yeah.
By that I mean trying to get people to self-censor. It reminds me of the horror movie boom, really.
Yeah. Well, we got people talking about how no one's out to take your games away, and then
but then they cheer when things get taken away.
Target in Australia got petitioned to take
Grand Theft Auto
5 off the shelves, and they did.
By the way, I think this answer is bullshit. It was like, I honestly think that the most angry, defensive people online are usually the people who are unhappiest in general. So,
well, here's the thing.
Okay.
That's cool, but it's not. That's not a criticism. That's not saying, oh, this is. I don't personally like this element of like. It's. I think there's something about this show that offends one of my personal sensibilities, which is 100% fine, but it's not a criticism, and we don't need to act like it is.
I don't know. I kind of feel like if someone says, this show, I feel this show is sexist, or this show is, whatever other label they want to use, classist or whatever, like, I feel it counts as a criticism, but it's just such a boring criticism. It's almost like, why would you bother? Like, there was a show a couple of years ago, Astaroth's Toy.
Oh,
yeah.
With that one.
Little succubus girl, and for some reason I just was trying to figure out what was this show really what I think it is, and I just watched the whole thing, and I ended up writing something about it for my blog, just because the ideas about sexuality that were presented in it were different than what I thought they were going to be, which is not to say that it was a good show, because I think it was a very mediocre show. Well, I guess mediocre is even a compliment, considering what a lot of people were saying it was. But I could have
a certain other podcast said it was evil.
Yeah, well, like I could have very easily looked at that show and said, "Oh, this is sexist. This is about, a girl who's a succubus, so she's a little girl, but she does these sexual things. Okay, I'm not going to watch it." But then I would have missed out on what was much more interesting, which was that it actually displayed. It was like trying to be sex positive about succubi, which was not something I was expecting. And it's just like, if you want to look at something from that angle, like saying this is sexist is just so boring. It's like saying this anime has the color blue in it. Like, yay, whoop-de-friggin' do,
Yeah, it's like where do you?
Well, see, when they're using that as a criticism, they're also using it as a value judgment about the viewer.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there was also another question on top. I don't know if you saw it. It was about the Ask John. Where
that everyone was mad about for 15 seconds, but nobody commented.
And then everybody forgot about it.
Yeah, of course, everyone mistook. It was trying to say that made it to be like that female fans don't support while male fans support, but that But that they tried to change it to the fact that there was female fans, and that is what brought down the anime bubble.
That's called misrepresentation of what they're saying.
Here's the thing about that. First of all, the question asked to John was leading in the first place.
Oh yeah, it was loaded, no question.
Second of all, everyone's going outraged about this, but nobody's really having a discussion about it that isn't outside of their own circle. And that's my problem. Because
I was just wondering.
Apparently, everyone was really mad about it. But when I checked on the comment thread for that thing, it was just all
pretty
people
barren.
who already regularly. Well, no, it wasn't even barren. It was all people who already regularly post on that site.
Wait, I vaguely remember this being a controversy, but what exactly happened? What did John say?
Trying to remember. Does it lead to? Oh, the thing was. This was from last year. Oddly enough, same time last year. Did girls cause the anime? Cause America's anime burst?
And he said yes.
Well, no, he said no.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but it was like, okay. I'll read the whole thing. It might be politically incorrect, but would it be inaccurate to attribute to the early to mid-2000s domestic anime bubble and its subsequent bursting to wishy-washy anime fangirls who treat anime as a fad rather than a hobby? You know, the one men who are into Powerpuff Girls and next Lizzie McGuire and Hannah Montana and now Twilight and the Hunger Games.
Who are these people? I don't know these people.
Hannah, Yori, Dango.
Well, like I said, it was a loaded question.
Yeah, you can see it's really. This person already has their perspective on it and is looking for justification for it.
I honestly think they were trying to egg a certain type of answer out of him.
Oh, absolutely.
All shoujo-oriented anime which bombed over here to the point where they never completed or just barely got to the end or still suffer from low sales. American fanboys generally only jump on whatever has the most buzz. As soon as the hype fizzles, they move on to the next fad. Thus, yeah, it's totally loaded. Thus, the only reason anime sold as the next mainstream, they stopped buying into it, so inevitable market crash. So did fickle fangirls cause the anime crash of 06? And his answer is...
mainstream. When was it mainstream? I must have missed
during the Pokemon boom.
Yeah. When was that? Exactly.
Early 2000s?
Yeah. I was 10.
In a word, no. America's 2008 anime industry class was called by a number of interconnected circumstances, but fickle female anime fans were not one of these factors.
Hey! What did I say? You said no.
Let's see. During the heyday, American got released. Utena, Cardcaptor Sakura, Princess Tutu. I'm just skimming through this, but Mimi Power. Didn't you get promotional or partial? The sum total of constitutes a tiny fraction of the total number of anime titles licensed for domestic release during the time span. The very reason why they really tried so hard to court the female consumer market is America's anime industry never fully captured the female consumer audience. And beyond the shoujo, the massive majority of female consumers did not purchase DVDs, and most of these who did purchase limited DVDs, even though what's this? Oh, see that was what people had problem with. The fact that he's saying that female fans didn't buy as much anime DVDs.
Yeah, but you can actually prove that.
And
he's a retailer. He knows what he's talking about.
Exactly. What they should have done was gone to him and say,
he's got a spreadsheet that has age demographics and shit on it.
If you're making this assertion, where's the data? And they should have went to him and said that, but they didn't. They decided to all go outrage in their own channels.
Fair, it all comes down to this last couple of years of this stupid clickbait fucking thing that's been going on. It really, you know what I mean?
To a certain extent, but it's not even that. It's more. I'm really mad about this, but I don't want to actually have a conversation about it. I just want to be mad.
Would it be? Can I say something that's kind of loaded?
You already did.
Can we stop you?
All right, but it seems to me that it's always been true with fandoms in general, but like for the anime, especially even in Japan, where male fans express their fandom through by consuming the product that gets released, whereas female fans are more into the creative aspect, like fan art, fan fiction, and cosplay. But to
an extent, I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying that there's not, of course there's some crossover.
Well, of course. You're just saying like.
Without concrete data, I would hesitate to make any assertions as to who buys more, but I would definitely say that, at least as far as I've seen, more women tend to do the more creative aspects of.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I drew a really bad unfinished Cowboy Bebop doujin when I was a teenager, but I don't think the female gender really wants to take credit for that. I think they'd be just as happy that didn't happen.
I don't think I actually want to talk about the kind of things I was drawing when I was a fan.
I'm still drawing.
Let's just say it involved Sailor Mercury and a tentacle monster. But
I stopped drawing before I got the desire to draw any porn.
And I'm still drawing stuff.
Hey, well, I don't know. Even if you can't draw, I think there's a time period where you think you can, or at least you want to try.
Yeah, that happened to me, and I'm glad it ended when it did.
It's like skateboarding. Everybody thinks they can at one point, but until you fall on your ass that one time.
Until you fall, 85 times. You know what?
You know what? This isn't going to be me.
I'll stick to the Razor scooter.
For some reason, I
still have one of those.
I don't know. It just reminded me of when I was a kid, when me and my cousin actually hooked a weed eater motor to a scooter.
Why would you do that? That sounds like the worst possible thing you could do.
Well, it worked, but you might as well just ran, because you could still outrun it. You know what I mean? It was completely worthless.
Hey, in other news, I see here on AmiAmi, Blu-ray Neon Genesis Evangelion Blu-ray box set.
I know somebody who's going to be getting that.
$300.
Yeah. And again, I still know somebody who's going to be getting that. It's not me, but.
I'm satisfied with my Ava Platinum collection. Feel no need to upgrade it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good with my 10 collection. Yeah, Platinum collection.
The only reason why I get like really hopped up about these type of things is because I'm a screen cap nut.
Well, to be fair, that is a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
Because they usually come out in droves. Not only that, but
also especially in the Evangelion.
And if you're a big fan of doujins and stuff, these usually kind of peak interests again, and people start doling them out again.
Got to keep Mogadan doing shit.
Employed.
Got to make Plump Ray.
Come on, he eats Toblerones. That's the inspiration right there.
Going back to fans trying to self-censor one another, it extends out to like whenever you hear about that one bill that was passed about the
Tokyo Youth Bill.
Yeah, the Tokyo Youth Bill.
150.
There were some people that thought it was a good thing.
You get people coming out who like actively advocate for that kind of thing.
Yeah, and the thing is they do it in the same way that anybody who censors anything does, for the good of everybody, right?
Yeah, and it's like
which you're not everybody. Why do you get to make that call?
That's more egregious to me than if someone were to come up to me and say you're a bad person for liking Strike Witches.
Oh yeah, because
there's people who are like, I don't like this thing, so it shouldn't exist at all.
Yeah, so nobody should have it.
Yeah, I've never understood that mentality at all.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. It's kind of like I feel like I've understood from a young age, why censorship is bad and why even things I think are bad should exist. And then it's like when people start making these pretentious arguments about how it's better for society for such and such thing not to get into the hands of impressionable young minds. I'm like, did you miss the memo about, I don't know, life? everything.
It's like wasn't this the same thing they told everybody about, the Elvis and trans fats or whatever.
NWA.
Yeah, and remember with the seduction of the innocent in the 50s and stuff like that? Like, everybody always looks back on those times, and they always seem to, with hindsight, be like, oh, yes, that was wrong at that time. They were being overzealous at that time. Yet, why do they always think this is the time that they're right? Yeah, that's what I don't get.
Burning records and burning books.
The same thing to the younger generations.
I can't remember who originally said it. I always see the quote floating around, and it's been misattributed to some people. So that's probably where the confusion comes from. But the saying, where they burn books, they'll burn people.
That's Fahrenheit 4.
51.
Yeah, but it's all often misattributed to like Voltaire and things like that.
Actually, oddly enough, yesterday I was watching the movie version for 1984.
Oh.
I forgot they actually had that, to be honest with you. I don't think I actually ever watched all of that.
I never did, and I'm probably not going to, just because just reading 1984 when I was like 13 or whatever gave me nightmares for a week, so I probably couldn't handle the movie. Scariest book ever.
Brave New World's pretty bad, too.
Brave New World didn't affect me as much, strangely, although
that's because that's more subtle.
I guess Brave New World doesn't have the boot stamping on the human face.
for everything, it's more like, hey, we're not really happy, but we don't know it, kind of thing, and we're buying it. It's, if you ever saw Code Geass, it's basically that refrain episode.
Oh yeah.
But everybody does that.
Wait, the Code Geass episode where he's like, "Oh, I have a little brother and I love him very much," and
no, the one where Colin, and her mom, where they're on the drug. It's called Refrain.
Why don't I remember that? I saw Code Geass. I don't remember that, but oh well.
It was an early episode. It was like his first season. I know that.
Oh, then I probably saw it like many years ago, because I only recently saw like fairly recently, maybe within the last year, I saw like the second half of Code Geass. I saw the first half many years ago, so that makes sense.
What's interesting is the way that ends, and I'm not going to spoil it, but that first season, it's easy to pick right back up, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Because it ends on such a major cliffhanger. Not that has anything to do with censorship.
Yeah, of course.
or although I guess it does technically have to do with editing. Because Sunrise is weird about that, if you really think about it. They like to do that, don't they? They like to have those endings where they just kind of cram everything,
Yep.
If there's one thing I'd say that's negative about them, it's some of their endings. They really do that.
Well, to be fair, that's a lot of Tomino ones, which are Sunrise, are like that.
No, that's what I'm not saying, but Sunrise in general is, because look at Code Geass, or I know you guys didn't watch it, but Valvrave the Liberator.
Oh, I watched Valvrave the Liberator.
Oh, that was so much fun. It was just so absolutely insane.
The writing was so awful, it kind of became wonderful. It was just such a gaping hole where logic should be. You kind of marvel at its majesty.
Yeah, it's basically like they did the 13-year-old idea of, hey, we got ideas, we're just gonna take them and run with them as far as we can. It doesn't really matter anything that gets in the way, we're just gonna run over it.
Yeah, there's that one scene in Valvrave where they start thinking that all the kids are actually immortal, and they're not. It's like, oh god, they're all immortal monsters, let's shoot them all. So they start shooting them all because they're immortal, and then the kids die. The kids are dying because, of course, they're not immortal, but this doesn't cue them that maybe they should stop.
And it has a lot of great quotable quotes, like the one guy's like, I'm going to part these students like the Red Sea, He's got his machine gun,
Actually, speaking of Valvrave, ANN had a review of that up a couple of days ago, and I think this is the first time in years I actually agreed with an ANN review. Basically said Valvrave is really dumb, but it's actually kind of entertaining for some reason. I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty much on the nose. Okay. I agreed with ANN. It can happen.
Yeah, Well, yeah, I mean, it does remind me very much of Code Geass, especially Elf is very much a Lelouch type character. In the sense that he's like this real calculating kind of like superhuman kind of brainiac.
Except Lelouch actually was superhuman in that he had an exploitable superpower, whereas Lelf escapes by throwing a screw into a light bulb.
Hey, that was awesome. That was some MacGyver level shit there. I was like, holy crap! He actually took a screw out of the bottom of his chair. I believe it was from the bottom of his chair, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, he like flicks it up and knocks out the shards of glass in the light, and then cuts the dude's throat and escapes. It's like, just like, holy shit, that's like MacGyver level stuff, you know.
I, of course, will watch the most ridiculous shit sometimes. I'm sitting there thinking, that's totally unrealistic, because there's no way from the way he's sitting, he could actually get enough force into the throat to break the light with that tiny little screw.
Oh, you would fucking love Angel Cop then.
Oh, man, Angel Cop.
Well, that whole 6 episodes is like that.
Well, here's the thing, though. There's a certain level, and I think this comes with media in general. I grew up watching a lot of 80s action movies, so none of this stuff is like bothers me one bit. Hey, they didn't reload. I'm not gonna say that. I don't care. To me, it's more. I think the worst thing that maybe that's a bad quality for some people, but when I see things like that, I'm hooting and hollering. I'm not complaining about, hey, the physics there don't actually work, because I figure it's a fucking animated program. I don't care.
Yeah, but okay. Well, there are limits to my suspension of disbelief. What can I say?
Like
there are limits.
Nuns stabbing their ears with dipping pens.
Yeah, that's VZ's trigger.
Would you say that's your trigger warning?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
In any case, on that note, we're up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio.
I'm yawning, excuse me.
It's okay. We can edit that out.
We don't need to, because we're not recording.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
I want that Ansu shirt that says "You work, you lose if you work."
I'm surprised SJWs don't have that.
No, well, that's actually the hipster. That would be like some of the hipsters.
Yeah, but they actually believe that.
Yeah.
I want a friggin' $14,000 a month Patreon. What do I have to do to get that?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Come up with a bad Kickstarter. Yeah. Kickstarter.
Make one of those friggin' Vine games or Twine things or whatever.
Yeah, it's so tempting to go to the dark side, because I could just, I'm a woman, or so I've been told. Have the proper parts. I could make a Twine game and then say, like, make up all these horrible, like, death and rape threats I got and be like, oh my god, this is so horrible! And then I'd get money for my
You gotta do that sort of fake, we're pandering to the people that like retro games, even though it doesn't actually resemble any sort of...
You don't even need to do that. Just make a Twine game. It's basically HTML.
Well, yeah, you don't even have to do that. You can steal code. That's what most of them did, because they don't actually know how to code. I mean, like, recently it's come out that basically, Fez was pretty much ganked.
Yeah, I heard about that. Which, you know what? That sounds pretty something like he would do, because...
To color me not surprised about that.
No. Mm-hmm. Philip Fishery.
If Zoe Quinn can be considered a developer for Depression Quest, I really need to finish my freaking RPG Maker game, because that's got to be like 10 times the game.
Oh, yeah.
Depression Quest. Well, why don't you just go outside once in a while?
Someone made a pretty decent documentary about Chris Chan.
Okay.
And put it on YouTube. Okay.
I'm wondering what the criteria for a decent documentary are.
Well, it was for a high school class.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be very good at all.
It was pretty decent. The only thing is, you could easily add an extra hour. You can easily add an extra hour.
Choose Chris Chan as your high school project.
Because
that's
all
like,
the things
fascinating
in the world.
Because some people find them fascinating.
I understand that. Space is also fascinating.
And also,
I was gonna say, so is the ocean floor, but I don't really want to hang out there.
You can go up or you can go down, but
Space and dinosaurs, that's my childhood right there.
Dinosaurs are fascinating.
Space and dinosaurs. Now,
disappearing airplanes from Malaysia are fascinating.
Now, dinosaurs from space is usually the best thing to do. Actually, my favorite thing is dinosaur robots.
Disappearing cups from Whataburger, or the bottoms of cups that seem to defy physics somehow.
That's fascinating. There's an infinite number of fascinating things you can do that aren't called Chris Chan.
I don't know what Chris Chan is.
Oh,
Keep it that way.
I was just gonna say you probably won't go that way. Oh, jeez. I don't know if you should show her that. She'll be up all night.
Just Google Chris Chan, and
Don't
the
Google
rest will.
Chris Chan.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna resist.
Chris Chan.
Probably.
No. Well, maybe. Depends how you know.
But it's like it's gotta
so much better about yourself.
For that to be a legitimately good documentary, it would have to be like Jane Goodall and the Chimps. You know, that kind of level thing. And are you okay, Anubis?
Because I heard that, and I kind of registered it in my mind. Jane Goodall and the Chimps. Oh, that one.
It's like, it's like a case study. People like, trying to figure out what makes them tick besides Sonichu. And attempting to rap to Gangsta's Paradise.
And also, blue arms when Sonic set him off.
Yeah, that's his trigger.
Out in public wearing a bra, and
My Little Pony
licking ice cream while people are looking at him like, get this guy away from me.
Don't call anybody.
What is the? Does the third segment have like a topic beyond? It is the third segment.
It's usually where we read mail and do that.
We read mail.
Oh, right.
And,
Okay.
and
Okay.
Make jokes and all that kind of crap.
Bullshit. But we do actually have mail.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, you getting tired?
Ready on third segment.
Alrighty.
Ready.
In 3, 2. Welcome back to NTR Radio. We have mail. That was far too quiet. We have mail.
Incoming message.
This one's coming in from Cube the Third.
Nice.
Hey guys, it's Cube the Third again. Been a while since I submitted an email to you guys. At first I was thinking about asking for your opinions on the OhioCon situation, but I think I might just save that for this week's episode of Otaku Midnight because
I have no idea what happened.
You all are interested in talking about it. I heard something about something that happened at OhioCon. I'm not sure
no idea.
That's what he's talking about.
I need to be informed.
By the way, new episode coming at you this Tuesday at 9:45 p.m. on Cube the Third's channel. However, I came across a tweet that one of my friends posted of a screen cap of a thread going on in a group. It was an argument about the character age of Shimakaze from Kansai Collection.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, at the risk of getting on some list of some sort of pedo list, I'm just going to say it. Why do people get so hung up on character ages? This is something I just don't care or get all up in arms about when it comes to characters I'm attracted to, unless there's real people involved.
Because I don't want to fap if I know that the person's underage.
How do you feel about all these people?
And I'm like,
wondering why there was no Otaku Midnight last week. I was recovering from PCD and needed some R&R.
Yep,
We were going to do a show
I get
this
that.
week on OhioCon stories, and also next week we're going to do another one to catch up. Peace, Cuba the Third.
Okay, I'll go here.
Go ahead.
This is one of the weirder things. I mean, I think we're seeing a lot of this now with the video games too. It never used to be when I was younger playing these games. Nobody actually cared about that kind of thing. It wasn't something people even really thought very much about because we know how to separate fantasy from reality.
Imagine that.
You know, I mean, I don't understand. Are they so connected to the point where they don't?
I think it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, there's that aspect of it. It's where it's like, yeah, these aren't real people you're talking about. They're drawings. But there's also, for me, I mean, for most of human history, people would marry at like friggin' like 12 and 13. And it's only in the last couple hundred years that that's ceased being true. And yet it's like people kind of act like, well, but if people admit they have any sort of, they could conceivably imagine being attracted to someone that age, well, that's deviant. It's like, actually, from an historical perspective, it's the opposite of deviant.
Definitely not. I mean, people have arranged marriages and stuff where, you know, like, they didn't even have a choice. They just put together, it's like, okay, these two clans want to consolidate power. You know.
Yeah, I mean, not to make it sound like I'm an advocate for arranged marriages for 12-year-olds or something, but it's just like, the idea of, young people, very young people being involved. Actually, the whole idea that young people can kind of be sheltered from sexuality until they're, 18 or whatever is really a pretty modern conception. So it just seems very just ignorant to me to say that, oh, well, if this character's 13 and there's anything sexual going on, that's just disgusting and we should all hate it, because biologically we're programmed the opposite. Yeah, it's only, modern society that says, well, actually, we should put another 5-year waiting period in there or something.
If they're a day under 18, you're
a pedophile?
even though looking at this country, the age of consent is mostly 16. That's number one.
Usually with like parental consent, though.
Usually, but there are plenty of places where that's not the case. It's just 16 straight up.
It's like I think Spain is like 13 or something.
But it's that we just really recently started doing this thing where we can't have any sexuality until 18.
Do you think that's because we're living longer now?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I do.
Yeah, because when people like when you got to 30 or 40 and like you were in your like golden years, that probably made it a little more urgent to start earlier.
Yeah, there was no need to have a bunch of kids at 15.
There's also the increased range of education, where now you need to learn more in order to survive more.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, right. Plus, I mean, just let's face it. A lot of things are different. You can go get food at the supermarket. You're not out having to hunt your own food or even build your own dwellings or anything.
But it's that, and I think specifically with anime, it's people see the character design. And then they ask, what age are these characters? Because they see the character design, see people are attracted to it, and see that the character looks young, and people are attracted to that. So it's something they see like this sort of these people are they're sleazy, they're kind of creepy, being attracted to this character, and then they start into how old is this character, trying to vilify people.
And then
that's another place it comes from.
And of course, I'm sorry, I was going to say, there's also people that say, terms like baby waifus.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
That's dumb.
That is just dumb.
Why are they exo infantile? Because you don't touch yourself at night. That's the reason.
For real.
You might want to try it sometime.
No, I could deal without that visual.
On another podcast quite a few years ago, we were talking about Moe and the popularity of really young-looking characters, and I said something at that time that was like, I think part of the appeal of it is that a lot of these anime fans have a fear and a dislike of adult women, and it made sense to me at the time. Looking back on it, I think there's some truth to that, but I think I didn't really fully understand the implications of what I was saying. because I think there's a reason that young, innocent, sweet girls appeal to people, and maybe realistic conceptions of adult women don't, and it's not because they're sick. There are other reasons for that. And those are reasons that I think a lot of people find very threatening to confront. So there's a lot going on with that.
Yeah, it's an ideal I'm looking for.
Well, not only that, but another thing is you got to realize this comes from Japan, and there's definitely some problems there.
There are significant cultural differences.
There's a significant. These are not the problem itself. These are symptomatic.
Yeah.
A much greater problem than no.
If you think this is causing the problem, then you're missing the point.
Another shitty podcast kind of attribute the low population and all the of Japan to moe.
Which is hilarious, because even if you took every anime fan in Japan, it wouldn't even crack probably a full %.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They criticize it as a super niche, but when it's advantageous to them to make that assertion, all of a sudden it's massive enough.
Numbers don't work like that.
Put a dent in the population.
It's really the logic loop of like trying to break down a supercomputer by saying it's a niche, but it's the mainstream. It's popular and it's mainstream, but it's a super niche, and you're just going to explode that.
It's like a error 404 type of thing. And it's funny to me because I've noticed that too. People like to use numbers like that. It doesn't make sense, because numbers are one of those few things that really are concrete.
Yeah.
They mean something.
They do not lie.
Yeah, and they don't have an agenda. They're numbers.
Well, numbers don't lie, but statistics do lie.
Numbers don't lie, but people who handle lie about numbers.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but people who handle the numbers lie, though.
Yeah.
Okay, we got any other mail?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, but yeah, we're seeing that. We're seeing, I myself have always just found that funny, because like if you look like at a lot of just regular anime characters, like we'll use Asuka and Rei since everybody knows who they are.
Yeah.
And you know, they're depicted as 14, but they're also not depicted as like
lowly-ish.
Well, not only that, but not how I remember people being at that age.
Yeah.
Like personality-wise, even. I mean,
well,
this
maybe
is
Asuka. Well, Asuka maybe.
No, I don't remember anyone when I was 14 looking like Asuka.
Oh, looking like. I was saying like I was thinking acting like Asuka.
Oh yeah, there were plenty of Asukas when I was 14.
But but speaking visually, you know, these characters don't look like crap. I kind of lost my train of thought.
They all look like they've gotten their periods.
well, we know Asuka does.
Oh yeah.
Because she actually complains about it.
Don't enter my fortress. Not Fortress of Solitude.
The Walls of Jericho.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Get your biblical references right. But yeah. I mean, a lot of people like those characters. Just look at the amount of porn of them. You know, and not one of these people actually sit there and really think about, you know, their quote-unquote age.
Yeah.
Their ages are just weird in anime too, because sometimes you get characters who really should be like at the very least in their early 30s, who are said to be like 19, and then you've got the kids who are, I don't know, they should be in their 20s, but they're 14. I don't know. I think looking at age in that way, well, that person is supposed to be 13. That character is supposed to be 13. That's below the age of consent, as if age is in any way consistent in in these universes.
How about like
the characters from Sailor Moon are supposed to be 14.
It's applying real-world logic to a world logic. It doesn't really work.
How about the fact that the main girl in Kofuku Graffiti lives on her own, even though she's only in middle school?
That makes me so jealous. Why couldn't I live on my own when I was in middle school?
I read you can actually in Japan if
there you go.
as long
see,
as long as you're in a
if you've watched enough anime, you know that they only have one parent.
as long as because it's kind of like like how you stay away at college.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like that if you have to be closer to your school.
I thought you were going to go into kind of the thing we have here, like an emancipated minor.
But we're talking about a medium that has like Konata Izumi, who turns 18 over the course of the show, Lucky Star, but looks the way she looks.
Yeah. Or how about I got a better one for you, Anzu from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls.
Yeah, how old is she supposed to be?
17.
See, that's she doesn't look 17 at all.
See, that's the point, though. These things really can't be applied in that way.
She looks and acts 8.
I don't know. I really think it's one of those things. It's like it's kind of relegated to the realm of the fiction and the fantasy, and it's just to
a certain extent. I think a lot of the time, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the time the age and the character design are basically just conceived separate from one another. Like the character design is designed the way the artist wants to design the character.
Also, another thing,
the story.
Asian,
like the age is just set as the story requires it.
Also, the fact that most Asians look younger anyway.
Yeah.
Then there's that based upon they're generally shorter.
Yeah.
And because they actually have healthier diets, they tend to actually not be like obese and things like that either.
Yeah. Of course, I like
There's always, of course, the exception, but.
Of course, my favorite character in the show Non Bjork. Did you see that, Karen?
Yeah, I did. I actually just caught up on that because I went through like a slice of life renaissance.
There's Hotaro is my favorite from that.
Oh, the one from Tokyo?
Yeah, the 5th grader that has like D cups.
Yeah, that's the other thing that cracks me up: the association of pedophilia with large breasts. like that does not make any sense. None.
Things are not like the other.
Yeah, actually, might be a little bit of a tangent, but there's a really dumb show I watch some of because I like gymnastics. It's not an anime. It's a Make It or Break It, a show about gymnastics. And there's a subplot where one of the gymnasts kisses her coach or something, and they make a big deal. Oh, we can't have a coach here who's a pedophile. Meanwhile, the gymnast character is supposed to be 16 or 17, and fully developed or whatnot. The actress is probably 25. It's I don't think you people know what pedophile means.
You're a pedophile.
Yeah, I was gonna say it, but I guess it's good to mention. I've told you guys before, but
I honestly do blame shows like Law and Order a bit for that.
Yeah.
I watched a really good. I watched a really good documentary that someone made called All Men Are Pedophiles, which, of course, I know it sounds like a feminist type of thing, but it's really not. Are all men, and no, but it raises all these questions about and what we're talking about, including how that word has been sort of misused.
Oh, big time.
Doesn't mean
absolutely.
Because
I love how they used the clip from Steve Wilkos too. You know which one.
But throwing the word "file" on the end of anything.
Oh God, that guy was an actual creep.
But yeah, it's one of those things where the meaning of it seems to have been changed, at least in modern parlance. When you say the word, it's conflated with anything from jailbait to all kinds of stuff. Rather than the actual medical definition of it.
Yeah.
And the psychological definition of it.
Of course, in Australia, they banned flat-chested.
Yeah, that is strange to me too, simply for the fact that what did they do?
Guess if Chihaya was there, I guess I gotta hang myself.
Gotta leave the country. Gonna get deported.
Or a boob job. Well, you know, got to get something going on here because apparently Aussies have a real problem with that, or at least their government does.
Yeah, the government.
I was going to say that the people probably don't. They probably think it's just as dumb as we do. But.
Actually, I have cousins in Australia, and both my cousins taught English in Japan a little bit, and neither of them are otaku, but one of my cousins was telling me, she's like, oh, I've got to get one of those really dirty sealed manga while I'm there, just because I'll never get another chance to get something that ridiculous. Or something like that.
That's fantastic.
Tell them about Comic LO.
No!
Comic LO.
That is a specialty product, sir.
That should be released here.
No. No. Do you want all the politicians and shit to lose their minds?
I know.
Get all anime banned.
Dude, I don't even actually own any of that.
Neither do I.
I just don't have enough of an interest in that thing. I like my anime girls to have some curves.
Not enough of it is translated for me to actually endeavor to own any of it.
So there you go. So yeah, censorship is bad. Moral of the day. We need to get the public service announcement voice.
Sailor Moon says it's bad.
See, if one of us would have done that, it would have just been dumb.
Yeah, but yeah, it really sickens me to see people in this fandom actively advocate for censorship. That bothers me deeply.
Despite them being progressive, some of them.
That is just them hiding behind a term.
You know.
It really is.
Yeah, and it may be easy for people to kind of look at you guys and be like, oh, well, you guys discuss hentai. You know, of course you like.
Oh, we've been called out about that. We've been called out about that.
Right, now I personally, I'm just not interested in it, and so you know what? I don't watch it. It's not hard. It's really
I actually don't watch as much hentai as these two guys.
Well, here's the thing. I don't.
But I have no problem.
We can't really be called out on something we've never said we didn't do.
Yeah, I run a panel on it. I mean.
Well, people think they can call you out on it because they think your fantasy life is something you should be ashamed of, which is their problem.
Which ultimately is their problem, not mine.
There's a dude out there who thinks I write for Faku.
Which is absolutely hilarious.
Because I don't know anyone who writes for Faku. But
yeah, because Faku isn't a place you write for.
But that sort of it ties into that where people try to vilify other people for liking something that they don't like, that they would like to see destroyed. And it's really says more about them than it does about the work or the person they're criticizing, because
that same person. I was gonna say that same person also said that the one girl in Asurate wearing the purple sling dress was evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a person that claims to be a shock jock, by the way.
But it's like, it's literally the easiest thing to avoid. Hentai, literally the easiest thing to avoid.
But there's some people that complain like, oh, hentai is one thing, but I don't want to see the fan service stuff in my regular anime.
Then don't watch it.
But I want to consume this thing. I want to consume this thing, but Then
it comes down to how bad do you want it. And if we're gonna talk about anime being an art form, then we're gonna have to accept that this is made by people who have a vision, and we're gonna have to accept
a bunch of peyote.
But then they'll say, Japan's a bunch of fuck ups and they gotta get their shit straight and make more, stuff that.
Wait, hold on.
They're not in Japan.
Two things. Okay, one. First off, we're a culture that has a lot more crime than they are, so that sounds funny to me. Just in general, even taking differences in population, it doesn't match up. And two, I mean, who are you to say that? Where do you get to become fucking king cultural, imperialist here?
I've been noticing, like, the sort of people who are anime fans, but they really don't like Japan in general. Like, they're just becoming
which is just ridiculous.
Sorry, but one is not one and the same. They kind of have to go together.
Well, I mean,
I don't like the politics.
The thing is, without Japan, this thing doesn't exist. Okay, outside of other people, emulating it. So to me, that's like, you want the pizza, but you don't want the dough.
Yeah.
I just want a plop of no. I just want a plop.
I want a BLT. Forget that. I don't want the lettuce, but I still want the BLT.
I'd like a burger, but no, don't give me any meat, cheese, or bun, or pickles.
If as a matter of fact, just give me an ice cream.
Yeah. Take all the stuff off the burger and put ice cream on the burger. Just give me ice cream.
Yeah. On second thought, I'm going to go somewhere else. Exactly. I mean,
it's that exact thing where they apparently not watching something is too much effort. Apparently, dealing with the fact that this is an art form and is created by people who have a vision, and that vision might not be 100% congruent with your sensibilities, and that's cool, but that's something we have to accept if we're gonna hold anime up as an art, which it is.
But see, they're only making it because they're being told to make this stuff, and they don't get paid,
You mean like all people that are making things for the most part? Like nobody just makes shit.
Because the moe anime is all soulless, and they're just...
As opposed to the thousands of nameless robots.
As opposed to super robot anime in the 70s, real robot anime in the 80s, sci-fi in the 90s.
Hey, come on.
I'm just paraphrasing what some of these things that other people say.
I'm saying it's dumb. It's dumb, and the when it comes right down to it, the choice is you can either watch it or not watch it. And it comes down to that because it still exists regardless.
And I think that's actually what bothers them.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's like some kind of god complex or something there. This is heretical. I think this should burn.
Despite all the complaining I do, this thing I don't like still exists.
Why?
I will still not understand why these people have to cling only to like what's coming out currently.
Or even anime.
Why not just look around for... There's bound to be stuff that interests them.
Because that's too much work.
Not only that, but why do you have to hang on to anime if it's no longer for you? I've never understood that. Like if you're into, I don't know, like a certain type of music, and that type of music isn't giving you the kind of stuff you want, why are you still listening to it?
I guess it's this feeling that, well, they see the potential of it, so for that reason, they should, in a better world, they would see that potential being fulfilled.
Because they see one or two things that do have their interest currently, but everything else to them is shit. And
that's
they want
because
everything.
They all buy into Sturgeon's law.
Here's how they solve that problem. Support the shit out of the stuff that comes out that you enjoy. And I mean, 2 years down the line, after it's said and done, I still want to hear people talking about it if it's good. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. Otherwise, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. It's going to run its course, and then it's going to be done. And then next season, we're going to hear people complaining about how there's no anime for people like me.
Or the latest greatest tragedy against mankind.
Yeah.
Which apparently is because, breasts. Or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Gun culture from a culture that doesn't have guns.
Oh, there's people that, like, and who I'm talking about, like, fan service on its own is bad. Like, that fan service cannot have no redeeming quality. Because the whole it's good despite fan service. That as a qualifier, there's nothing that good can come from.
I suppose if you're asexual.
Well, that's what I'm assuming some of these people.
Well, I think they aspire to be asexual for some.
Yeah, like
for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know. They love shoving that some of them love showing that they have girlfriends.
Yeah.
Well, they treat that as some sort of status symbol.
Yeah, and that's weird to me too. Like if you've seen these people, they're not fucking Tiger Woods. They don't have trophy wives, even though that is kind of what it feels like when they do that. Or trophy girlfriends, rather. Pardon.
Yeah, well, often, with a lot of shows, they'll say, well, if you like this, it's only because you're a basement-dwelling neckbeard who can't get a girlfriend, blah, 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 and you have problems. Like, well, actually, I like the show, and I'm a married woman, and I don't have any, I don't, none of this. And then they're like, oh, well, you just internalized the misogyny of, well, not your culture, but Japan's culture, I guess.
Guess
okay,
what?
If that's
I live in a basement. Guess what? I live in a basement.
I live on the second floor.
Sometimes I have a neck beard. What of it? Not right now, but sometimes. I don't.
Well, that's a whole other thing. Like, when did it become like if you live in a basement, you're a bad person? Like, when did that ever make sense?
Because it's a fact that you can't move out of your parents' base.
You mean like film, Robert?
That you're unsuccessful in life, and it.
Like film, Robert.
Well, I really hate the whole we've talked about this using the term autistic or Asperger's.
Oh yeah, that's annoying. Like as a pejorative.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's become really obnoxious, especially by people that claim to be against things like ableism.
You want to talk about offensive? That's offensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never. That's not to say I've never laughed at a fucked up joke or anything.
Well, certainly, but
No.
trying to.
But they're using that as like, oh, you only like this because you have something mentally wrong with you.
Exactly.
You like this thing too much. Remember?
And that's just dumb.
You're too into this thing.
You like breathing too much. Stop it.
You like eating too much.
Well, yeah, you can actually say that about some people, though.
True.
I mean, all you can eat was invented for them.
That's all right. I'm sure you like using. I
like breathing a lot. That's cool.
Actually, K-Gods, mentioning breathing is my trigger, so I'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't mention it.
I'm so sorry. I'll go stand in the corner and donate money to Common Core.
Okay, good. As long as you know what you did.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, the funny thing is, I actually do kind of have the kind of weird anxiety thing about breathing, but it's not a trigger because I'm not a fucking insane person.
Because you're a normal person who lives in the real world.
Who lives on planet Earth and they don't think they're part toaster or something fucked up like that.
What's that thing that a lot of furries do? The
Yiffing?
No. Like when they think they're this particular thing that.
Well, otherkin?
Otherkin?
Otherkin, that's it.
That's what I was joking about when I said part toaster.
Part toaster. Are the king. Yeah, my other king's a toaster.
It's not exclusive to furries, by the way.
No. That's just pure Tumblr nut jobs right there. Did you ever see the one person that was like, I'm actually a black guy, or whatever? And it's like, no, you're not. You're demonstrably not.
I've read one from a girl who said she's actually Japanese and she knows it in her heart, even though she can't read Japanese. But she totally knows she's Japanese.
Trans-Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I like to pretend too, but but the thing is, I know I'm pretending.
Yeah.
I go on great adventures when I read a book
To be fair, I was kind of like that in college, but then I grew out of that.
You grew out of it.
There's a key word. You grew out of it, and to be fair, a lot of these people are young. A lot of them seem to be, and I'm hoping if not, our species is so screwed.
I mean, I used to say I feel Japanese.
If these people don't grow out of that, that's going to be a real problem.
It's going to be a problem for them.
Well, right, because the real world is not going to
cater to that. The real world continues moving without you regardless.
I mean, you can go on believing that, you're a toaster or whatever, cool. On weekends when you don't have a job to do.
My other kin is a transformer.
There you go.
There you go. I'm actually a transformer. You didn't know this, did you?
I don't know, man. Robotics trigger me. like one time someone started a car and I flatlined.
Okay.
Oh, did you ever see the person that had a relationship with their car?
Nope.
Yeah, they're usually jocks.
No. Like there's a thing called
there's a thing that they call it a tune-up, but that's not really what they're talking about.
No. There's a thing called objective sexuality, where people are attracted to things that are like inanimate.
You mean like anime characters?
Well, there was a woman that was attracted to the Berlin Wall, and she kept a piece of it.
I got some bad news for them. I mean that's gonna be a problem.
No. She knew that was, but she had a piece of it, I think.
Oh, okay.
And
I was gonna say they are going to be really disappointed when they come out from under that bomb shelter.
Husband's left ear around like
some like Stasi like dog tag or something.
Okay, before we get too deep, that's the show.
Yeah, well, sorry. Thanks for coming on board.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Anytime.
I'm sure I weeded her out.
Nah, it takes more than that to weird me out. Oh wait, no, that sounds like a challenge. Wait, yeah, I'm not challenging you.
I don't know. Some of my fan arts alienated people, but
that's an interesting word to call it. Alienating.
His fan art literally turned people into aliens.
Actually, he got kicked off of DeviantArt, didn't you?
No, it was just for a short time. I'm not totally off there.
Oh, okay. I know, and I know they banned you off one time from 4chan, which even saying that still manages to make my brain run rings.
It's like doing someone a favor. Well, you banned me from what? 4chan? Okay, that'll be a nice vacation.
Whew. So anyway, yeah, that's the show.
The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is she'slostcontrol.net/podcast. Check out docuwash.com. That's K-God's place.
Which is dormant, but I swear I'll work on it.
He's working on it.
He's working on it.
Check out vzmk2 moya and mekagatai.wordpress.com. That's VZ's place.
Yep. I haven't put up that many updates. Well, actually, I did this week because, but that's because I use Twitter. But I still post shit and stuff.
Check out theotakusphere.com.
Actually, it's just otakusphere.com.
Just otakusphere.com.
No, just. It's just the word.
Otakusphere.com. Without the or the just.
There we go.
And even though we get censored every time we say it, this is NTR Radio. And we're good.
We forgot to actually say I'm so-and-so on the way out, but